Hi, and welcome to the very first episode of TDA Talks, Thriving as a Product Designer, a Q&A session with myself, Lucy, the UX/UI contract recruitment specialist here at TDA Recruitment. Although placing top talent is our day job, we also love to give back to our communities. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Keoni Harrison, a Director of User Experience at Fidelity Investments. Hi, Keoni. I'd love you to introduce yourself.
Hey, Lucy, thanks for having me. My name is Keoni Harrison. I'm a Director of User Experience at Fidelity Investments. I've been here about a little bit over a year now, and I'm based out of New Jersey.
Amazing. Thank you, Keoni. It's a pleasure to have you. Could you start by telling us about your journey in design and how you ended up at Fidelity Investments?
Yeah, so my journey begins all the way back in high school. I would design websites, blog sites, create illustrations, or just like edit photos from my friends. So that's really when I kind of fell in love with design. As far as my professional career goes, I had a bunch of random jobs after college unrelated to design, and then finally landed my first job working as a graphic designer for an events company. So after my time there, I made a quick shift to digital and product. And so, I jumped around New York City a bit, working in-house at different tech startups, and eventually decided to work agency side. So I would say working for an agency was one of the best decisions I've ever made, because I had a really good opportunity to, obviously get exposure working with some really big brands and clients. But most importantly, I got to work with some really, really smart people. So fast forward through all of that, an awesome opportunity at Fidelity Investments came up, and yeah, here I am. And then I just want to say, I made that all seem so simple and pleasant, but, in reality, I had a lot of ups and downs. But as long as you know this is something that you want to do, you'll be fine.
Yeah, it is very encouraging to hear about the diverse paths you can take to enter the design field. Your journey highlights the importance of persistence and adaptability as well. In today's competitive job market, what skills do you think are essential for product designers to really stand out?
Great question. There are three that come to mind for me. So the first skill would be a soft skill such as storytelling. Being able to present your work in a way that is compelling, clear, impactful is such an underrated skill. I've seen so many great ideas get thrown away simply because the way it was presented wasn't captivating the stakeholders in the room. So it's a good one for people to constantly work on, including myself. Second for me would be just, a designer who's able to collaborate and work with cross-functional teams such as developers, marketers, product owners, even other designers. Product designer who can support all these different parts of the business will always be valued. And then third, this is a little bit more personal for me, but just having strong skills in visual design, UI design, some interaction design really can just help a product designer stand out. Obviously, as it relates to UX, it's sort of a given that a product needs to be pleasant and usable for its users. But I do feel sometimes the visual aspects of things don't always meet the need to stand out in today's market. Also, having experience working with design systems and having some knowledge of accessibility are also crucial, especially when working for larger organizations.
Great point about storytelling and collaboration. It's fascinating how these soft skills can sometimes be what makes a designer's work stand out. How important do you think business and product strategy is for designers?
For a product designer, it's essentially part of the job. Understanding business goals will help designers align their work to their company's objective. It also helps a product team make decisions in scenarios where they need to make trade-offs due to technical limitations, or they're having difficulty on what to prioritize. If they keep the business goals in mind, they can use those goals as a guide for decision-making for when these scenarios come up. As for product strategy, that for me is really all about understanding your customer, their needs, the market you want to compete in. Having a product design team aligned to a value prop really helps to focus everyone to create a sound product that hopefully will set the team up for success to achieve those business goals. There are obviously so many layers to business and product strategy that we can talk about, but simply, a product designer should be thinking about their users and the business. It's a bit of a balancing act all in the end.
Yeah, definitely. I love how you emphasize the balance between understanding business goals and user needs. It's a crucial mindset for any product designer aiming for success. What are some common mistakes you see job seeking product designers make? And do you have any tips on avoiding them?
Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes I've seen many times with some product designers, especially when looking at their portfolios, is that they don't necessarily show you their rough and dirty process. They always just really show like final polished work. And so, that makes me question a lot of things like, what was your process? Where's the research? Who did you collaborate with? How did you collaborate? And then really not showcasing work that shows that they have experience in, practical implementation or delivery is also something that I see is missed out a lot. Other things I've noticed, just portfolios are poorly organized, or, they're showcasing irrelevant projects. They're not talking enough about their own personal values. I've seen sometimes some product designers, they might come off a little overconfident, or they might, give off the impression that they're uneasy to work with. I've done portfolio reviews with other designers in the past as well, where, they've gotten really defensive about the feedback that I provided them. So that's also sort of just a red flag that, I noticed. And then there's been times where, I might have interviewed folks and they just don't really seem interested in the business or the products. They don't necessarily have a real reason why they want to work for a company. And so it just, in general, just really, coming off as unprepared. So I think like just a solution to all of that, just be ready. When you want to talk to, a brand or company, particularly for a product design role, just come equipped with questions and, really do your research.
Your insights on the common mistakes designers make are very eye-opening. It's a great reminder to focus on the complete process and to stay humble and coachable. How can designers effectively build a strong portfolio?
Quality over quantity, try to keep your projects relevant, show your best work, keep your portfolio organized, especially if you have a multitude of different types of design projects. Let's see what else. Show your process, but try not to make it cookie cutter like. Also, try not to write a book on your process for a project. So really just keep things short and simple. As you know, a lot of interviewers don't have time to read through all of your case studies. So the shorter, the better. Emphasize your challenges, what you did to overcome them, why you chose the path that you did. Show off your awards or any metrics that you have around success. That's a big one. Use a website builder or a platform that makes it really easy for you to update your website, but also gives you enough flexibility to make it organized and visually appealing. And then I would say the last one is share your passion projects. It may show someone that, you have other skills that can be utilized for the role.
Absolutely. As some of my network will know, I love to see designers' passions and personal projects in portfolios. It's clear that a well thought out portfolio can make a significant impact. Besides technical skills and experience, what other qualities do you value in product designers? And do you have any advice on preparing for interviews and showing a good culture fit?
Yeah, some skills really just mostly around soft skills. I mentioned storytelling before, being able to collaborate, being a team player, really being competitive too, being passionate about design, obviously being passionate about users, making a change for people, not really being afraid to speak up for yourself or the users. And then, for me, I really do value individuals who are a little bit more proactive in nature versus reactive. And then, so before, just in preparation for an interview, before an interview, do your research, know who you're talking to, know the business, have some good questions ready to ask. Think about the questions you may get, try to have an answer for those as well. And then, again, practice your storytelling, be energetic. You want to leave a lasting impression on the interviewer. A few other things that I just thought of as well is, if you don't have a whole lot of experience interviewing, maybe reach out to someone in your network who has a little bit more experience and ask if, they can obviously practice with you. And then finally, just be yourself, share highlights from your past job experiences. If you're allowed to, talk about your journey, things you like to do. We are all humans at the end of the day, so we have to like the people we want to work with.
Yeah, the emphasis on soft skills and preparation is absolutely spot on. And it's so refreshing to hear how important it is to connect on a human level during interviews as well. What are some new trends in UX/UI design that you think we should pay attention to?
I wouldn't call it a trend, but AI is definitely something that we all need to pay attention to. I've noticed a lot of great work being done around accessibility for products and just inclusive design in general. Personalization is a big one. I've seen a lot of products having fun with theming and typography, colors, really just letting users customize their own interfaces. It's really cool. And then also just I've seen a lot of companies starting to have a little bit more fun with their brand. tone, voice, their copy, even their visuals, to really just build more emotional connections with their users and their products. So I'm sure it's because of AI, but I've seen a lot of advances and some explorations around some cool 2D and 3D animations. Again, a little bit with my visual design background, a lot of that kind of pops out to me. But those just are some of the things that I've noticed in the market right now.
The trends that you mentioned, especially around AI and accessibility, are very exciting. It's great to see the industry moving towards more inclusive and personalized experiences. Can you share a career challenge you faced and how you've managed to overcome it?
Yeah, my biggest challenge, honestly, was dealing with burnout. Burnout's a real thing in our industry. I've experienced burnout maybe a few times in the past. You can imagine, working late nights, just the constant influx of meetings and presentations, trying to meet deadlines and get things handed off to developer stakeholders. It does take a toll on everyone. So, I would take long breaks in between jobs, but I just felt like that was a temporary fix to a larger problem. So for me personally, I had to make some lifestyle changes, just making sure I was eating better, getting good rest and exercise, hydrating during the day, taking breaks when I can. But most importantly, just getting away from the screen to do other things that I want to do really helps to keep me fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing your experience with burnout. It's a crucial topic, and your strategies for overcoming it are very helpful. Looking back, what's one piece of advice you wish you had received when starting out in your career?
Yes. Don't try to master everything. Be great at a few things, be good at others, be okay with not knowing certain things. Just be honest about it though. You will stretch yourself thin if you try to do too many things or feel the need to know everything. So, just be mindful about that. There's just way too much to just try to, sort of be really good at and just focus on a few things.
That's such a valuable piece of advice about not trying to master everything. It's a relief to know that focusing on a few key skills can lead to a more sustainable career long term. What advice do you have for others to stay motivated during tough times in the job market?
Yeah, there's a few different ways people can stay motivated. People could attend networking events online or in person. There's plenty that, you can look up. There's design conferences as well. You can just simply browse the web, get inspired by other work or other designers. You can take an online course to sort of brush up on any of your skills. You can watch videos on YouTube or different design podcasts. Figma just had the Config conference, so I love all of the YouTube videos that they just recently posted. And then really, put yourself in creative environments, where you can sort of just connect with like-minded individuals, share workspaces, online forums, even Starbucks if it comes to that. But honestly, just don't silo yourself. Design is all about connection in the end. So you really have to just be able to put yourself out there and explore other creative ways you can offer your services to people. You have to be able to reimagine yourself and adapt
Yeah.
in true agile fashion. So yeah.
Networking and putting yourself in creative environments can really make a difference during tough times. This is something I always recommend to designers on the market. Could you recommend any resources for improving skills and staying updated on industry trends?
Yeah, few different ones. So for mobile design, I reference mobbin.com a lot. They have a lot of good just examples of like other products and apps that a lot of companies are just putting out there. So I definitely reference that a lot in my day-to-day just for inspo. For other just general design inspiration, I use sites like Dribble, Adobe, or a really cool one called Save It. And then in terms of just like improving your skills or upskilling, there's just all types of different boot camps and lessons online, General Assembly, Udemy, UXL, Career Foundry. You can just simply Google it and you'll find anything these days.
These resources are excellent. It's always helpful to have a go-to list for improving skills and staying current with industry trends. What's your most controversial opinion about UX UI design?
Yeah, I would say it's less about just UX UI itself and more so just how it can be used against a user or customer. I've seen businesses take advantage of UX to implement dark patterns that obviously benefit the business in some way, but in doing so, they frustrated their customers. So you have to realize UX can be a tool that can be used against people. And so, for those who are not familiar with dark patterns, If you can imagine, there's a product or service out there that makes it really easy to subscribe to, but once you're actually subscribed to it, they make it very challenging for you to unsubscribe or remove that service. So that I've seen is just a practice that has been recently popping up a lot more. And quite honestly, to that regard, it puts a bad spotlight on UX. And unfortunately, with younger designers, sometimes they don't always feel empowered to push back on the business or the product team because they want to keep everyone happy. So they get taken advantage of as well in the process. While this is nothing new, again, I just feel like with COVID, it really just shifted the way we all engage with companies and brands from a digital perspective. So, as a takeaway, I want to say you have to be willing to put yourself out there and just really advocate for the user and make it really clear to a business or just any team that you're working for on how these practices can damage, their reputation.
Absolutely. Your perspective on dark patterns is so important. And it's a reminder that designers have a responsibility to use their skills ethically and consider the user's experience at the same time. Do you see AI as more of a threat or an opportunity for UX professionals?
Oh, I definitely see it as an opportunity. Anything that is unfamiliar or really new can always be viewed as a threat for people. But with something like with AI, I think it's mostly just people are more so reacting to how fast it's advancing. And some people, especially myself, feel like they really can't keep up with everything that's going on. But I personally don't think it's going to replace UX designers. If anything, it's just another tool to help us deliver better products, help us save time on tedious tasks that most designers really hate. And then honestly, just really focus on delivering the value to the end user. So I think AI, obviously, it's here to stay, and we just have to be equipped to learn how to use it.
Absolutely. And it's very reassuring to hear your positive outlook on AI. I know this has been a big concern for a lot of designers. So viewing it as a tool for enhancing your work rather than a threat opens up exciting possibilities for the future. Thank you so much, Keoni, for sharing your invaluable insights and experiences with us today. It's been a pleasure learning about your journey. Your advice on thriving as a product designer is truly enlightening and will undoubtedly benefit our audience. To our viewers, thank you for joining us on the first episode of TDA Talks, Thriving as a Product Designer. We hope you found the conversation as inspiring and informative as we did. Stay tuned for more episodes where we continue to explore the latest trends and insights in the world of tech, product, and design. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, feel free to reach out to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, keep innovating and pushing the boundaries of design. Thanks again, Keoni, and thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks again for your time today, Lucy. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.